What is something that was normal in medieval times, but would be weird today? Wearing a codpiece. A barber doing surgery. Donating your urine to a dyer. Duels over a bride at a wedding. Edit. Thank you for the award. The hue and cry. Literally shouting that someone stole something and having the whole village chase after them. Having rules about what colors and what type of clothing and hats you could wear, based on your occupation or social level. Animal courts. By far the most serial offenders were pigs. Accused and convicted of chewing off body parts and even eating children. Most were found guilty and sentenced to death by hanging or being burned at the stake. In 1386, a convicted pig was dressed in a waistcoat, gloves, drawers and a human mask for its execution. Outlawry, which stripped a person of all legal rights and allowed anyone to kill them with impunity. Seeing someone in stocks on a stage in public. The royal ass wiper. Seriously. Someone would wipe the king's ass. And it was a respected position. Going to sleep as soon as it gets dark. Waking up and hanging out with your family for a few hours in the middle of the night, and going back to bed until sunrise. Throwing your shit out of the window. In Rome, once a year Jews were made to run through the streets naked. Google. Com. S. Haaretz. Com. Jewish. Premium Pope stops Rome's sadistic Jews race 1. 5,365,882. Fight instead of divorce. Why waste time on courts and child support? In medieval Germany, if a husband and wife reached a dead end on some important issue, they entered the ring. The rules, of course, equalized the forces of men and women. In the ring, the man was in a hole. One hand was tied behind his back, so that he could strike with only one hand. And the wife was given a bag of coal, with which she struck. Whoever wins the fight, inflicts serious injury or the defeated one asks for mercy, is, therefore, right in the dispute. Sleeping with your entire family in one bed. Or if you are a king, sleeping in the same bed with a rival king to cement your friendship and respect for each other. As brothers. Privacy was just not really a thing in the Middle Ages. Edit. I came at this with a pretty Western perspective obviously. Many families around the world still sleep together in the same bed space. However, in modern Western culture, it isn't considered as normal as it would have been in previous centuries. You have insulted my honor. I challenge you to a duel. Not European, but foot binding is weird as fuck. Like, let's make this kid wear tiny shoes so her feet stay like kids' feet her whole life so men find her more attractive. In medieval times it was a common practice to display tapestries on walls instead of oil paintings and other works of art. Leprosy. Brushing your teeth with a stick. Public executions. I read a book from the 1930s about life in medieval England. One of the things that really stuck out was the level of animal cruelty. And I don't just mean beasts of burden and whatnot. In one section on the types of games played at fairs there was one for example which involved tying a rooster to a peg and then the contestants took turns throwing stones at it. Whoever killed it was the winner. Bear baiting. Bull baiting and baiting just about any kind of animal. Usually ending in it being killed was the height of wholesome fun. Never traveling more than a few miles outside of your village or town. Wearing cloaks. I don't understand why cloaks are amazing. We should bring cloaks back. In fact, it was normal to pick your nose back then. Pissing and shitting in a bowl and just tossing your shit out the window in the morning. Carrying a sword. Having multiple children. Over many years. While living in a one-room dwelling. Ada. I had answered the question assuming Op was talking about the socio-economic and cultural experience that the time period was. And not the time all over the world. My bad. Gruesome executions that took a while to actually kill someone. Seriously, medieval people WTF is it with sentencing people to be burned at the stake or crucified or drawn and quartered. A swift beheading was the most benevolent way to kill someone in the old days but not widely practiced as it turns out. Wielding supreme executive power because some watery tart threw a sword at you. I've taken medieval literature in college. There's a lot of strange things that was normal for them but strange for us. Selling off your daughter so the rest of your family can eat. Putting iron near your baby to protect them from changelings. etc. etc. Women plucking their hairline to make their forehead bigger. In the C13th, there was this whole European aesthetic about women's sexy foreheads. So women would pluck their hair to make the forehead bigger and sexier. Whenever I tell my classes about this they go, ew. But they are all manscaping and waxing other body parts. Public baths. Not on the same scale as they were in Rome. But it was still pretty common to have a bathhouse in medieval Germany and surrounding places to bathe in a group in a large tub of hot, fragrant water. Called a Zuberbad in German. Now everyone's all hung up nudity. Even among friends. So it's way less common. Although you can still enjoy a public Zuberbath at medieval markets and Renaissance fairs in Germanic countries. A doctor taste testing urine. The stereotype that girls were the hornier sex. On second thought. Let's sleep on some hay on the floor. Having people help you get dressed and undressed as an adult. Bloodletting. Sleeping all together on the floor. With people casually having sex without problems. The whole family waking up at midnight to drink and bullshit for an hour or two before going back to bed. The name Lance isn't popular in this day and age. But back in medieval times people were called Lancelot.